Hello everyone, my name is Madedi Vito Brahmanda Putra. You can call me Vito. So in this video, I would like to explain you about or do a presentation about understanding food and beverage. So as you can see on your screen, this is my PowerPoint. It is about understanding food and beverage. I will explain you about this PowerPoint, and if I read it too fast, you can pause the video. Okay, let's get started. Okay, this is the explain point or the point that I will be explain to you. The first is there is definition, classification, and example. Okay, the first is definition of food. There are two definitions of food. The first is food is any substance consumed to provide nutritional support for an organism. Food is usually of plant, animal, or fungal in origin, and contain essential nutrients such as carbohydrate, fat, protein, vitamin, or mineral. And the second definition is food is substance consisting essentially of protein, carbohydrate, fat, and other nutrients used in the body of an organism to sustain growth and vital process and furnish energy. And this is the classification of food. There are 6 classification of food. The first is by chemical nature, by function in the body, by chemical properties, by mass, by origin, by nutritive value. I will explain this classification in the next slide. Okay, the first is according to the chemical nature. Uh, the chemical nature, there is carbohydrate, vitamin, protein, dietary fiber, fat, water, and mineral. Okay, I will explain about carbohydrate first. Carbohydrate or carb are sugar molecule. Your body breaks down carbohydrate into glucose. Glucose or blood sugar is the main source of energy for your body cells, tissues, and organs. And then there is vitamin. Vitamin are essential nutrients that enable your body to work properly and to stay healthy. And then there is proteins. Protein is a naturally occurring extremely complex substance that consists of amino acid residues joined by peptide bond. And then there is dietary fiber, found mainly in fruits, vegetables, whole grain, and legumes. Is probably the best known for its ability to prevent or relieve constipation. And then there is fat. Fat is the body fuel source, and fat is the major storage form of energy in the body. Fat also has many other important functions in the body, and a moderate amount is needed in the diet for good health. Fat is in food come in several forms, including saturated, monounsaturated, and polyunsaturated. And then there is water. I think there is no explanation about water, right? But I will explain this. Uh, Water is essential fluid to protect body, organ, and tissues, carries nutrient and oxygen to cell, lubricate joint, lessen burden on kidney and liver by flushing out waste products. And the last there is mineral. Mineral is a naturally occurring inorganic element. Your body uses mineral for many different jobs, including keeping your bone, muscle, heart, and brain working properly. Minerals are also important for making enzyme and hormone. And then, according to their function in the body, the first is energy-giving food. The carbohydrate, fat, and protein are considered as calorie nutrients, so that the body can perform the necessary function. For example, rice, chapati, bread, potato, sugar, oil, butter, and ghee. And then there is bodybuilding food. Uh, Food such as protein, fat, and carbohydrate are also called bodybuilding food. They are the nutrients that from body tissues. For example, meat, fish, chicken, egg, pulses, nuts, and milk are some example of bodybuilding food. And then there is protective food. Vitamin and mineral are the nutrients that function to regulate body process. They protect us from various diseases, and for example, fruit and vegetable are a protective food. Therefore, we must eat it regularly. And then, according to chemical properties, there are two this chemical property divided by two. It is organic and inorganic. Organic is a nutrient that contains the element of carbon or called as organic nutrient, and inorganic is nutrient that do not contain carbon element are called as inorganic nutrients. For example, carbohydrate, lipid, protein, and vitamin are organic, and water and mineral are inorganic. And then according to its mass, there are macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients are required in large quantity daily. Protein, carbohydrate, and fats are macronutrients. They are the basis of any diet. And micronutrients are needed in small quantities, usually in amount less than milligram. These nutrients are involved in regulating metabolic and energy process. For example, they are vitamin and mineral. And then according to its origin, there are plant-based and animal-based. Plant-based is type of food source that based on plant, for example, fruit, vegetable, grain, nut, etc. And then there is animal-based is type of food source that based on animal, for example, beef, pork, lamb, egg, etc. And then according to nutritive value. Nutritional value or nutritive value as part of food quality is measure of well-balanced ratio of an essential nutrient carbohydrate, fat, protein, mineral, and vitamin in item of food or diet concerning in nutrient requirement of their consumer. For example, cereal and millets, nut and oilseed vegetable, green leafy vegetable, non-leafy vegetable, root and tubers, fruit, animal food, milk and milk product, carbohydrate food, and condiment and spice. Okay, now we move to the beverage. The first is definition of beverage. In general, there are four definitions of beverage. The first is a beverage is any type of drink. It's something you might offer a guest in a house. It's also the favorite moniker of companies that manufacture both soda and juice. They all call themselves beverage companies. The second is a beverage is a liquid for human consumption by drinking. And the third is a beverage is any one of various liquids for drinking, usually excluding water. And the last is a beverage is any liquid for drinking, ESP one other than water. Okay, the first is classification of beverage. Okay, the first is alcoholic beverage. Alcoholic beverage is portable liquid which contains 2% to 75 of liquor. They are produced by the introduction of yeast for fermentation into substances such as fruit, cereal, or grains, molasses, and plant extract. Technically, it is known as ethyl alcohol that forms as the product of chemical reaction in which yeast convert the glucose present in the cereal or molasses into alcohol and carbon dioxide. Though there is other reaction taking place at the same time and that also influence the character of the finished beverage. Alcoholic beverage has been divided into two categories. They are as follows: fermented alcoholic beverage and distilled alcoholic beverage. Okay, we got fermented beverage. Fermented alcoholic beverage are classified broadly as two. It is wine and beer. Wine is beverage that prepared by fermentation of grape or other fruit like cherry, apricot, pears, etc. by the addition of yeast. Beer is prepared by fermentation of grain with yeast with the addition of hops. These are generally called fermented malt beverage. And then there is distilled beverage. Distilled beverage, spirit, liqueur or hard liqueur is an alcoholic beverage produced by distillation of a mixture produced from alcoholic fermentation, such as wine. The beverages are distilled using either a pot still or a patent still. Distilled beverages are rum, whiskey, vodka, gin, brandy, and tequila. And the last is non-alcoholic beverage. Non-alcoholic beverage refers to non-intoxication drink or soft drink, which doesn't have a bit of liquor by volume or yeast. It is not introduced to convert sugar into alcohol during fermentation. They are considering a soft beverage, which can be have according to the choice and standard. For example, aerated water, mineral water, juice, squash, syrup, tea, coffee, milk, etc. So that's all about my presentation. I hope my presentation gave benefit to all of you. Thank you.